cosmological constant problem is one of the biggest problems since 100 years. They discovered that the density of the vacuum is between 50 times to 120 times smaller than it should be according to the Planck density. Here is something essential we need to understand. Universal space is a type of energy. And when we talk about the energy, we always have in our mind, or most of the time, electromagnetic energy, electromagnetism, various frequencies of electromagnetism. Now there is idea that there is also other type of energy which is called dark energy. And sure, now here is the question of this density of the vacuum. Einstein's idea that universal space has 4 dimensions is a very good idea. But what is wrong is that the 4th dimension is time. It is not time. Time is only duration of motion in this 4-dimensional space. So, the energy that is a physical origin of universal space, it is not that space is filled with the energy. No, the type of energy is the physical ground of the universal space. This energy is 4-dimensional. We have to understand that also a type of energy can exist that has 4 dimensions. We always imagine energy as something that has 3 dimensions. No. This fundamental energy of the universe, which is the energy of the universal space, of the vacuum, which we call today superfluid quantum space, this energy is 4-dimensional. In the old times, before Michelson-Morley experiment, this energy was named with the ether. Now, excitation of superfluid space is photon. Yeah? So if we hit vacuum, we add energy to the vacuum, what happened then? That the vacuum start emanating photons. So virtual photons are building blocks of this superfluid space, okay? When adding energy, photons become visible. Now let's go back to the gravitational constant. Sorry, to the cosmological constant, sorry. What is the density of the space? We cannot approach this problem in the frame of 3-dimensional physics, because ether, superfluid space, is 4-dimensional. And in 4 dimensions, this superfluid space has Planck energy density. So there is no problem with gravitational with a cosmological constant in this sense. We have only to understand that the fundamental energy of the universal space has 4 dimensions, but we don't experience this density in such a way as we experience density of 3-dimensional gas, for example. This is the very nature of 4-dimensional type of energy. Magnetic field is excitation of superfluid space on 3 dimensions, x1, x2, x0, x3. Yeah, 1, 2, 3. And the electric field is excitation of superfluid space along the axis x2, x3, and x4. So photon is excitation of superfluid space in 4 dimensions. So photon is not a 3-dimensional physical object. Photon is a 4-dimensional physical object. And once we understand this, then we see that actually there is no problem here. The problem has arisen because when we think about the universe, we think as that universe is something that has 3 dimensions and time. This is utterly wrong. Universal space is n-dimensional. So atoms have 3 dimensions, okay? Photons already are 4-dimensional, but then we have higher dimensions. And the physical origin of universal space is 4-dimensional type of energy, which has Planck energy density. And the variable energy density carries gravity, because every object is diminishing energy density of space, Planck energy density, exactly for the amount of its energy. And this is generating inertial mass and gravitational mass, and consequently gravitational force. Gravity force is a pushing force of superfluid space. Merry Christmas.